How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring along with me to talk about if the 70-180 Tamron is good for video. So let's jump right into it. So I've used this lens extensively for photography. I've done a couple videos about it. If you haven't checked them out, they're down below in the description if you want to see more of the aspects mind of this lens. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about the video part because I've been using it quite a bit for video as well at my tennis academy, since I use it for the photography aspect and I don't want to be changing back and forth with lenses. I wanted to use it for video as well and see how great it was. So I'm going to be showing you mainly footage from my tennis academy because that's what I've been using it for, so you can get an idea of a fast-paced environment and also slowing it down with some slow motion and low light to show you what this lens can do and how great it looks in low light situations and in sunlight situations. This lens goes down to a 2.8, so that's the lowest you can go with the aperture to let as much light in. When it comes down to low light situations, obviously when there's sun, I use a variable ND filter in the front so that I can actually keep it at a lower aperture to make it look more cinematic when it comes down to the video footage that I want to do. So this lens goes from 70 to 180, as I've said before. It's a very, very good lens when it comes down what it does for the price point. I believe it's only $1,100, maybe $1,200 with taxes. I got it for like $1,100. Right now they're probably having some sales going on, but you just have to kind of look for yourself. But for the price point overall, $1,200 is nothing horrible compared to how much the G Master version of this one is. And yeah, so you can't really bargain with that one for the price point and how great it's built for that. So one thing that I do love about this lens right off the bat for the video capabilities is just how smooth I can really kind of zoom in and then slowly out, or zoom inwards when I'm all the way out. It's pretty great. Also, the manual focus ring is not too bad. I don't really use it that much. I use mainly just with autofocus, so not really going to touch base on that one. But I'm going to show you a bit of footage to show you what I've created for my tennis academy, a little bit of clips that I've made. They're like 15-30 seconds long, so you can kind of take them out and analyze them yourself if you want to and see what this lens can do for video. So check them out right now. So what did you think about the videos that were created with this lens? Did you notice anything different or anything like warpy or anything like that? For me, I honestly think this lens has been phenomenal overall, photography and video included. I've actually used this lens to create the little animation for my floating shoe that I created for a little fake Nike ad that I made. So this is the one if you haven't seen it. So with that being said, this lens is phenomenal. I mean, the autofocus is on point. In reality, it's very fast. You would think it wouldn't be as fast for the price point. Sometimes you kind of give that up. I mean, I used a 20mm Tamron. Sometimes it hunts a little bit. It's a little bit slower, but for like $300 that I got it for, you can't really beat it. I mean, I'm not really too crazy to buying a 1.8 or 1.4 like 20mm lens or 24 from the G Master series are super expensive versus a $300 2.8 that has served me purpose for everything that I've done for this YouTube channel and for vlogging style. One other thing to consider when it comes down to using this lens for videoing is just how heavy it can get. So you're going to be doing a lot more handheld footage, which is fine, but you're going to notice it's going to be a little bit sometimes more jittery because the stabilization isn't going to be as great. You might have a bigger stabilizer that you can put it on, and that's phenomenal, but if you don't, you're going to be doing a lot more handheld kind of shots, and I've used it quite a bit for handheld shots, so that's not the big of a deal. I mean, for me, I still love it how it looks and how you can create a little bit more kind of like raw feeling of footage because it's not just so perfectly stabilized. So that's just kind of more like a preference for you. So to me, I love doing the handheld kind of style. That's what I've been using it for my tennis academy, to show the action, show just the emotions, if you will, for it. And that's just what works for me. So that's just something to consider when using this lens for video. The autofocus on this has been phenomenal. I mean, I'm moving pretty fast with my students and like how they're playing and making a fast pace. I've done slow motion, so you can see the clarity and how good of a sharpness this lens is for $1,200. I think this lens has been quite phenomenal overall around with everything, with the photography aspect and also with the video. I mean, you saw the video right now, but here's some photos from my tennis academy kids so you can see what I'm talking about with how great it is for, you know, low light capabilities and photo as well, and also, you know, sunlight. So here's some photos that I've taken with this lens at my tennis academy as well. So there you go. I mean, in all honesty, this has been phenomenal because I can move back, I can get up close and personal without having to be too close to my students, especially with, you know, the trying times with the pandemic and everything. You want to give that little bit of space. So this is a great lens overall, in my opinion, when it comes down to videoing, that you don't want to be so intrusive to people when they don't feel as comfortable with a camera as well. So you can be a little bit farther out and just boom, zoom in all the way. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think the quality of image with this lens has been phenomenal since I've gotten it. I've used it for quite a bit of videos now, and I think it's great. I can tell you that this is a great B-roll master kind of lens, in my opinion, because you got the 70 focal length to the 180, so you can get up close and personal and also get a little bit wider. Not too wide, obviously, but still enough. So like I said, this lens has been my overall favorite lens for everything lately. I've been using it so much. I made a video about that, why it's become my overall favorite lens. So if you haven't checked it out, obviously down below. And while you're at it, make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, because I really do enjoy making these videos. Hopefully the community can keep growing. I mean, slowly but surely going to create more and more videos for you guys and growing the family. So thank you so much if you already subscribed. I appreciate that. Lastly, a few thoughts of this, just to kind of close arguments here, if you will. I just think for $1,200, this lens cannot be beat. Unless Sigma comes out with a rival soon, which they keep coming out with different lenses, but not a telephoto lens. So it is what it is at this point. I love Sigma. I have my 35mm Sigma that is pristine. I've literally made a video about it, so you probably should look into that one too. Just saying. I mean, so I think this lens is great for photography and video. You be the judge of it. Let me know down below in the comments. What do you think about the video capabilities of this lens? Do you think it holds up pretty well? Do you think the sharpness is great? The autofocus is fine? Is it fast? Is it slow? Tell me your thoughts down below. I would love to read more about it and, you know, have a little lovely discussion about what you think about it. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.